Pokemon abilities are one of the most key components in Pokemon battling, and since Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are releasing in a few months, I'm sure new abilities will be added to the game. In this video, I made up 10 abilities I hope to see in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. A couple of disclaimers I should mention are that I won't be mentioning the accuracy of the ability activating, and if one of my abilities has already been made by someone else or some other fan-made Pokemon game, then I'm sorry. I didn't bother to check. That's all I have to say, so let's start with number 1. Beam Boost. The user charges up a massive amount of power on their attack, increasing the move's power. Beam Boost is another variation of abilities that boost a certain move category. For example, Punk Rock boosts all sound-based moves, Iron Fist boosts all punching-based moves, and Strong Jaw boosts all biting moves. Beam Boost will boost all beam moves. That includes Ice Beam, Bubble Beam, Steel Beam, etc. Hyper Beam is the strongest beam move with 150 base power. With the Beam Boost ability, Hyper Beam would probably be too overpowered. Number 2. Facsimile. When making this ability, I thought about the ability Frisk, an ability that detects the opponent's held item, and then thought about what if you can copy that item. So that's what Facsimile does. Facsimile means an exact copy. If the user uses its held item, it automatically copies the opponent's held item. Making an exact copy of the opponent's item would be pretty cool, almost like it's 2 items for 1 Pokemon. Number 3. Accelerate. Whenever you're accelerating, you start to move quickly. Accelerate is another variation of abilities that boost a stat sharply if any stat is lowered, like Defiant and Competitive. By looking at the name of the ability, you can probably tell that Accelerate will boost the user's speed sharply when any stat is lowered. There are tons of ways players can lower their opponent's stat, like Intimidate Incineroar or Sticky Web Shuckle. A Pokemon with Accelerate would make it a good trade-off. Number 4. Frostbody. Frostbody is another variation of abilities that inflict a status condition when making contact with the user, like Flame Body inflicts burn, Static inflicts paralysis, and Poison Point inflicts poison. Contact with a Pokemon with Frostbody will inflict Frostbite, a status condition introduced in Pokemon Legends Arceus that takes 1/16 of your max HP and also halves your special attack. I think this will be a very useful ability for Ice-type Pokemon, considering how Ice-type Pokemon have bad defense. Number 5. Bad Curse. Before I explain what this ability does, I need to explain the move Curse. The user will lose half of its maximum HP and put a curse on the target. The cursed Pokemon will lose a quarter of its maximum HP at the end of each turn. That is exactly what Bad Curse will do. Contact with the user may curse the attacker, making the enemy lose a quarter of its HP each turn. Bad Curse is probably too good, so maybe a drawback for it is low accuracy of when the ability activates. Number 6. Power Nap. Have you ever taken a nap and woken up with so much energy? Well, that is exactly how Power Nap works. If the user falls asleep, their attack and special attack stat will increase when they wake up. This ability is so good that you can even spam Rest and Recycle on a Snorlax so many times along with having a Chesto Berry, and just constantly having your attack power escalate to the top. Number 7. Randomize. Randomize is another variation of abilities that changes the type of a move, like Refrigerate turns all normal type moves into ice type moves, and Aerolate turns all normal type moves into flying type moves. Randomize will turn all normal type moves into other random types. This ability will mostly be based on luck. If you're lucky enough, a normal type move that normally does neutral damage to the opponent can turn into a different move type, making it super effective. But of course, you might have bad luck and have a neutral damaging normal type move turn into a not very effective attack. Number 8. Handcuffs. If the user makes contact with the foe, it will have a chance to lock the foe's contact moves for 3 turns. This ability is like another variation of Poison Touch, but you disable their contact moves instead of poisoning the opponent. Because you are handcuffed, you can't do anything with your hands, therefore making your contact moves unusable. Fun fact, this ability is inspired by Killjoy's ultimate ability from Valorant. Number 9. Dazzle Veil. The Pokemon and its teammates are protected by a barrier that prevents them from getting inflicted by a certain status condition. Dazzle Veil is another variation of abilities that prevent both user and teammates from being afflicted with certain effects when it is active, like Pastel Veil or Sweet Veil, making you immune to poison or sleep. The ability Dazzle Veil prevents the user and teammates from being confused. Finally, number 10. Devour. Like a demon or vampire, a supernatural creature would usually eat its prey for power. A Pokemon with Devour would gain 1/8 of its HP each time it attacks and KO'd the enemy. This ability is like Moxie, but instead of boosting attack power, it heals the user. They're not going to eat the enemy if that wasn't obvious. This is another ability inspired by the Valorant agent Reyna. And those are my 10 made up abilities for Pokémon Scarlet and Violet. If any of these abilities don't make it in the game, maybe they will in other future games. If you haven't already, make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below which of my made up abilities was your favorite. And maybe comment down below your made up ability. Check out this video for more Pokemon content, and I'll see you guys next time.